Your prerequisite is TimeMaker Matrix Lesson 11, Various Functions. We will now take a look at the Massive Nuke, a very powerful feature. This tool allows you to give a simultaneous nuke to all, or those you choose, overdue items. So before we go on, let's take a look at what the nuke is. Okay, the nuke option comes up when a performer is overdue on an item. That item sits both in the performer's inbox and in your inbox as the owner, because the system says, hey look, the guy hasn't done it. So when you nuke the person, you're basically urging him to get it done, and there are various levels of power, which we'll go over. Another factor of giving a nuke is that when you do issue the nuke, the item goes out of your inbox for a specified time. So for example, when I issue a nuke, I can decide, okay, I don't want to be reminded about it again until the 8th. If the person hasn't done it by the 8th, I want it to pop back in my inbox. Does that make sense? All right, we'll go over it as we go on. So we click here, and the first option is Nuke with Visual. This option opens a nuke screen individually for any overdue items in your selection on the matrix, which then allows you to handle the items separately. So we click it, and now the system gives us the option to decide when we want to be reminded about it again. This reminder is called an owner's tag date because it tells the system I'm the owner and I only want to be reminded about it on this date. As a note, in more advanced TimeMaker versions, the new owner's tag date screen looks like this. As you can see, the view is a little bit different, and it just makes it a lot easier to choose an exact date. So we could, for example, say the 8th, okay? And now it gives me a nuke screen for each individual item. And I can decide, okay, for this item I want to do a diplomatic nuke, and I can decide individually. Notice that there are separate windows. Okay, did you see the different windows for each nuke? All right, so that's nuke with visual because you can visually decide which ones you want to do. It doesn't just do it all massively. Next is owner's tag date. So remember, the owner's tag date is the particular date that you decide on which you want to be later reminded about that item if the person hasn't completed it. So when you do click owner's tag date, all you're doing here is deciding on a date that you want it to go out of your inbox. It's not really a nuke actually, because it's not even telling the person that you've nuked them. All it's doing is taking it out of your inbox for whatever date you choose, so it gives the performer more time to handle it without you paying attention to it for now. And again, with all advanced TimeMaker versions, this is the display that you'll see when you click on Owner's Tag Date or any other Massive Nuke option. This is the new, more advanced display, but the same exact principle applies and it works exactly the same way. So we can say the 9th, if we push OK, it will go out of our inbox. But we won't do that for now because we want to continue with showing you the other nuke options. So next is diplomatic. This will apply an automatic diplomatic nuke to all items on the matrix that are overdue. At the same time, it will take the item out of the inbox of the owner, and it will add an additional message to the performer, simply letting him know that you as the owner are aware that his item is overdue. If we click it, notice it also gives us the option to decide on what date we want to be reminded. Okay? Now we go here, and the next option is conventional. This does the exact same thing as diplomatic. It also opens that window, but conventional opens a separate window. It's like a pop-up screen, which tells the person, hey, look, it's overdue, and then the person can just close it. Next is bullet. Bullet also opens a pop-up screen, but with a particular time frame. If the person doesn't either complete, date move, clarify, or reject, the screen will lock, forcing him to do one of those four. Now the next one is nuclear. Nuclear also opens up a pop-up screen with a particular time frame, but in this case the person only has the option to either complete or reject. He doesn't have the option to clarify, he doesn't have the option to date move, he can either complete it or reject it. That's it. And if he doesn't do it within that time, the computer will lock, forcing him to do it. Talk about demanding compliance. Alright, so those are your nuke options. And just to show you one more time, let's say I want to put nuclear. I will decide what owner tag date I want. So I can say, okay, remind me on the 8th, and then I say the 8th, and now all these items which I am the owner of just got nuked, and we can see that they have a little nuke there, and if we were to go and see that particular person, they have a nuclear nuke that they just received. And that's it. Play around with it, see how it works, and if you need any further data on the nuke, you can refer to the nuke video, or you can look it up in the TimeMaker dictionary or ask your TimeMaker trainer. And that concludes TimeMaker Matrix Lesson 12. Your next recommended lesson is Massive Operation, Lesson 13. See you there.